In episode 55, iPiffle on Judaism's view of sin. Sin can be viewed from either a religious context or a secular one. From a religious perspective, a person has committed a sin when he violates God's will by transgressing any one of his commandments. From a secular or non-religious perspective, a person has committed a sin whenever he violates the perceived order of human coexistence. Judaism regards the violation of any one of the 613 commandments of the Mosaic Law for Jews, which begins with the 10 Commandments and includes the many rules of religious observance that were given to them in the first 5 books of the Old Testament, to be a sin. For Gentiles or non-Jewish people, a sin is any violation of the 7 Noahide laws, which are the 7 laws of Noah, and are as follows: do not deny God, blaspheme God, murder, steal, engage in illicit sexual acts, eat from a live animal, and do not refrain from establishing a legal system to ensure obedience to these laws. Judaism teaches that all men are likely to commit sins and will begin doing so at a very early age. Jewish scholars believe that there are numerous classifications and many degrees of sin. Punishment of sin can vary widely within societal law from a religious standpoint. Those who commit serious societal sins might be sentenced to long periods of incarceration or even death. Serious sins committed against God could result in eternal punishment. Many lesser sins might be overlooked, but no sins that were committed with willful intent ever goes without some sort of divine consequences. In Judaism, most unintentional violations of Jewish law do not constitute a sin, and no atonement is required for any violations of Jewish laws that were committed under duress or through a lack of knowledge. Atonement can make up for lesser sins, but for the most part, it cannot make up for serious, malicious, or deliberate sins. Back in ancient times, when the Jewish temple still stood in Jerusalem, animal sacrifice was used to atone for all sins that were committed accidentally, either in error or for forgetting it was a sin. Atonement, however, has no redeeming effect on the individual unless the offer is sincerely made, and the person who committed the sin must be willing to make restitution to any person that suffered harm because of his bad actions. It is often asked, why do people who live pious or religious lives and commit relatively few sins still suffer? Judaism addresses this anomaly by explaining to their followers that life is only temporary and that the rewards will come about in the afterlife. It may appear that some wicked people enjoy privileged lives, but this is because they are unwilling to correct their sins in this world. However, since God is all-seeing, He will take note of this, and they will suffer greatly after death. For in the afterlife, it will be too late for them to repent their sins, even before the gates of hell. Judaism is clear on this subject and teaches that the world may appear unjust when the sinner prospers and the religious suffer, but this is only a very temporary aberration. In the afterlife, this will be reversed and made right for all eternity. Thank you for listening. I hope you will join me in my next video.